Hey guys, welcome to another episode of I Want to Cook. Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite quick, nutritious dishes, a frittata. I love making frittatas. Frittatas come together in about half an hour. They make you look like a kitchen rock star. They're so easy, but they're one of those dishes where people are like, oh my gosh, what's that? You made a frittata? Okay, so what is a frittata? A frittata, think of it as an open-faced omelet that is finished in the oven. So a frittata, the main ingredient are eggs. But one of the coolest things about frittata is that you can put just about anything you want in them. So for this traditional frittata, I'm going to include potatoes, onions, cheese, and maybe just a few aromatics. But if you are a meat lover, you can put bacon, sausage, you can put anything you want in. If you're into vegetables, you can put all sorts. Somebody once termed a frittata as kitchen Velcro. And that term is so apt because it's great if you've just got things in your fridge that you kind of need to use up. So I liken frittatas to, let's say, the sports coats for men, or let's see, I need a clothing analogy for women. Maybe like the little black dress. And that's because it is so versatile and it can go with anything and just about anywhere. It's fancy enough to be served at a brunch or even a dinner party, and yet it's casual enough to make if you only got 30 minutes and you're just like scrambling and really need something to eat and get something together quick. It's super versatile. It can be served hot, it can be served cold, it can be served warm. I love frittatas, they're great. So let's make a frittata. So to make a frittata, you will need an oven-proof pan. And most pans are oven-proof, especially, if you've spent even a decent amount of money on one. I like to use a cast iron pan, but by all means, a nice non-stick pan would work here too. You could get away with stainless steel if you have it, but basically what you're looking for is something where it'll slide off at the end, and I'm going to show you that. So that's the one pan that you'll need, and then of course an oven to cook it in. So here's our ingredients for the frittata. We have half a dozen eggs, of course. We have a couple small potatoes. I'm going to use about half an onion. Like I said, these potatoes are kind of small. You could use one large if you want. I like to add a little bit of cream to my eggs. We have some cheese that we'll put on top, and then I've got some garnish for later. But first, let's attend to our potatoes. So we're going to take a little shortcut with the potatoes. We're actually going to bake them in the oven, and what we're going to do is kind of cook them in there, and then we'll throw them into our hot pan. So first things first, let's scrub our potatoes and throw them in the microwave. Again, I'm using two smaller potatoes. If you have one large baking potato, that'll work too. And then just give it whatever time it needs to fully cook in the microwave oven. For mine, that's going to be about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, we've scrubbed our potatoes. Now we're just going to poke a few holes in these guys with a paring knife. Now we will throw them in the microwave. And again, in my microwave, this is going to take about, why don't we say 5.5 minutes, and we will turn it once as we go. So while your potatoes are cooking in the microwave, I want you to do two things. The first, we're going to set our oven to 375 degrees. So let's start preheating that. And next, we're going to get cracking on our eggs. So we're going to use 6 eggs for this, and if you've ever made scrambled eggs, it is the exact same process. We are just going to crack into a bowl and then whisk. So I've got 6 eggs that I'm cracking here. And I'm also going to admit to you a culinary weakness I had. For all the eggs I've cooked in my life, I've never gotten good at doing the one-hand crack. Let's give it a try. Let's see if I've improved. All right, well, we did it. It didn't look pretty, but we did it. Our eggs are cracked. I like to add about maybe a tablespoon of either milk or cream. This is just going to give it some extra smoothness. And then one of the things that separates a real chef from, let's say, an amateur cook or just kind of, you know, somebody who's just learning is seasoning. Season, season, season. That means seasoning every step of the process. So even before we whisk these eggs, I'm going to add a little bit of salt and some pepper. And what we're doing is we are just building a foundation of flavor. And it may seem like a really small step, but this is what separates restaurant quality food from what just ordinary run-of-the-mill, what you would make at home. Do these small steps, and more, the food you make at home is going to taste as good as or better than what you get in a restaurant. So there you go. There's my diatribe on seasoning. Now let's whisk these up. Okay, our eggs are whisked, and by all means, if you have a fancy KitchenAid or an egg beater, you can blend them up that way. You don't have to do the whole manual labor, but hey, if you got an arm, use it. Let's check our potatoes. And I shouldn't have to tell you, they're going to be hot. So yeah, these are great. You just want them, you want to be able to squeeze them and just kind of feel them softly collapse under your hands. Okay, potatoes are done. Now we're going to start cooking. So turn your heat over medium, and we are going to cut these potatoes into chunks. Now we are going to add about a tablespoon of vegetable oil to our pan. This is what we're going to saute our potatoes in. So we'll just kind of move this around, coat the bottom of the pan with that oil. Our pan's been heating for about a minute. The oil is getting nice and hot. Now we are going to dump our potatoes in. You can already hear them starting to sizzle. And just kind of move them around, flip, coat them in the oil. Our potatoes are already cooked. All we're doing now is we're going to kind of crisp up the outside, give them a nice brown color. It's going to be perfect. And while we do that, we're next going to cut up our onion. I'm going to use about half of an onion for this recipe. And this is just a real simple brown onion. You could use white. I'd probably stay away from a red onion just because those tend to be a little strong, but hey, if you're gung-ho on red onions, then by all means, use a red onion. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to cut these into dices. Hey, maybe someday I'll do a demo on how different ways to cut up onions. Would you guys like that? Let me know in the comments below if you'd like that. Okay, so we have onions, and again, you can just kind of give them a rough chop. Now from here, we are going to throw these into the pan with the potatoes. Yum! Guys, it's starting to smell so good in here. There we go. Do you hear that? Yum! Just give everything a nice toss. We're going to cook this, we're going to cook the onions and potatoes for a total of, let's say, about 10 minutes until everything is kind of nice and has some nice coloring on it, nice caramel color. And again, we're using about medium heat for this. And remember the advice I just gave you about seasoning? Yeah, we're going to season a bit here too. Guys, it smells so good in here, and this is really what you're looking for. You want to see some nice browning on those potatoes. If you want them even crispier, you can take them there, but for me, this is about perfect. Now let's add those eggs. So these potatoes have cooked for about 10 minutes. Now it is time for the eggs to join the party. So we're just going to give these one quick whisk, and then we are just going to pour our egg combination in. So now I want you to leave these alone for about a minute. We're going to let the eggs set. We've still got our pan going over about medium heat. Okay, our eggs are starting to kind of set at the bottom. You can see some bubbles coming up. And what I like to do now is just kind of lift the edges and let the uncooked portion of the egg fill in. So see where it's cooked around the edges? What I'm going to do is just kind of gently lift and let the uncooked portion go into those crevices and fill. And I'm just going to kind of keep doing this. If you watch other recipes, sometimes they will kind of take this and then throw it in the oven as is and let cook in the oven for about half an hour. That's certainly one way you can do it, but I like this method because it seems to be a little bit faster and I have more control of what's going on in the pan. So again, we're just going to kind of gently lift the edges here and pour in the part of the egg on top that is not yet cooked. Just like that. So when we do throw these in the oven, it's okay if not all the eggs are cooked because they actually will finish cooking in the oven. I just like them to get most of the way there. Okay, most of the eggs have set. Now it is almost oven time, but first we are going to sprinkle our cheese on top. And I'm using a mixture of cheeses here. This is, I think, some cheddar and some jack. You can use whatever you like, or if you don't want any cheese at all, you don't have to. Okay, now it goes in the oven. And if you are using a cast iron skillet like me, it's going to be hot. So remember to grab it with a hot pad and throw it in the oven. We're going to put it right in the middle of the oven. Our oven is at 375 degrees. And from here, we are going to let this cook for, let's say, about 15 minutes. What you're looking for is you want that egg to fluff up. And once it gets nice and fluffed up, you know that you are done and that you can get ready to devour an amazing frittata. That was the majority of the work. Now the frittata is in the oven and we are just going to let that cook. Again, this is going to be about 15 minutes and we are just looking for that frittata to get nice and puffy. That's when you know it's going to be done. So just kind of check on it every once in a while. But for now, we're going to let the oven do the hard work. It's been about 15 minutes in the oven. Let's check on our frittata. Guys, check this out. See? That looks great. You see how it's puffed up just like that? That is exactly what you want. Okay, let's extract. And remember, it's going to be very hot, so have an oven mitt ready, okay? Grab the handle with an oven mitt. I don't want any burnt hands out there. Oh my gosh. This looks amazing. Now, I know you probably want to dive into this, but wait about 5 or 10 minutes. We kind of want to let this just kind of chillax in the pan a bit. That's going to help unloading it onto our cutting board. And in that time, you can be thinking about some final garnishes. So I like to top mine with some tomatoes, and I have some fresh parsley here. And that's going to give it a nice pop of color and bring some added vibrancy to it. Here, we'll just kind of sprinkle the tomatoes on top. And this is we're just gonna rain down the parsley. But there we go. Nice, lovely frittata. We've let this rest for a few minutes, but I'll be honest with you, my hunger is getting in the way of my patience right now. So time for the dismount. And remember, that pan is going to be really hot still, so use a pot holder. Okay, so what we're going to do is carefully lift our pan, and this is where a spatula helps. You can just kind of slide it under and lift that out. And voila, we have a lovely frittata. Now all that's left is to give it a try. Moment of truth. Let's see how we did. I have a feeling pretty good. This little tomato tried to escape, but not on my watch. Look at that. The cheese is pulling away perfectly. Ah, lovely. Guys, you've got to try this. The egg is perfectly cooked. The potatoes add a nice depth. They're just a little bit crispy still. And then the tomato and the parsley give it that great pop of freshness. Guys, this is delicious, and I think I'm gonna have a moment here. Excuse me. So that is how to make a frittata. With this foundation, you can make it any way you want. And this is gonna help make you a kitchen rock star. So try it at your next party, try it at your next gathering. Heck, make it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It is so versatile. So like I say, you can eat this hot, you can eat this even kind of at room temperature, or if you really are hungry, you can just kind of pull it out of the fridge and eat it cold. So yes, do refrigerate the leftovers just like you would any egg dish, but otherwise there is a super versatile, super delicious, and super inexpensive way to put food on the table that you and your family and friends are gonna love. Guys, thank you for watching. Hey, what do you want to learn how to cook? Let me know. Put it in the comments. I would love to show you how. I'd love to give you any helpful advice that I could on how to bring your kitchen game up to the next level. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on I Want to Cook.